Hey, how's it going? And today we're going to be talking about big world modeling using the Lyra procedural generation tools. And this is really kind of blew my mind. So anyway, I have created a blank project here, third person template here, just called holding zone. And that's the file that we're going to be migrating our assets over into. But before we do that, we're going to go into the Lyra starter game and we're just going to go create project. And I'm just going to call this model 3 or 4. I've done this a few times already today. And essentially, within Lyra, there are 8 blueprints that are procedural content generators. And we can use these to model very quickly massive meshes that we can use. And then what we have to do is, once these meshes are created with the tools, we have to put them in their own folder and then put them in their own level, and then we can transfer that whole level into whichever project we want to. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through that general workflow, and I would just encourage you to get in here and mess around with it because it is super cool. I've done a couple tutorials about this. This is a very advanced game. It's using like the latest technology. It's always kind of a mind bender. Okay, so we come into the game like this. What we're going to do is I'm just going to dock and layout. Okay, content level. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is come up here and go to new level and just create a blank level in here like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to search for this folder called tools. And in here, you'll see the 8 blueprints. I think there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, there's 9 of them. These are blueprints, but they're also tools. But let's just make like 4 or 5 meshes out of this, and then I'll show you how to get them into your own project. This one here is like a giant wall, and if you come over on each one of these tools, you'll see it has settings in the details panel, and then you just control it numerically. So like here, let's say I want to make the corners rounded. I can do that. And here I can set the wall width and the height. And just look how fast I can do that. And what's cool about this is that it's going to be scaled appropriately when I go to put a material on it. So I'm not inappropriately scaling it like this. And then there's this opening over here. Now, if I come over here, whoops, there's an opening here, and I can control its height. I guess this is the opening here too. You can control it this way. Once it's created and you play around with the controls, let's say I even want to make it taller. Let's just go crazy, you know. How long would this take to model? Maybe not that long. I don't know. It's huge, but it's crazy. You could build an entire like skyline with this. Okay, then once it's selected in the scene, just go ahead, go to scripted actors and go swap to static mesh. And what it's done is it's essentially turned this into a static mesh and put it in its own folder. So we're just going to go get a couple other ones here. This one's really super cool too. And this creates like a tunnel. And so if I just select on its controls, it has the handle will control, well, the height. So let's say I wanted to make like some kind of passageway. I could use this for that. So I'm just going to stretch this out pretty far. Well, that's maybe a little too far. So bring it back a little bit. Want to at least maybe be able to see it in the distance. Okay, so there's that. And then let's say we bring this onto the scene. I should say these all come with collisions on them. So I didn't right click on this one, script, swap to static mesh. And then it's in the background building this. It takes a minute because it's so massive. And then let's say there's this one here, this tube. And the same thing, you know, it has all these controls on here. So you see where it says generate new static mesh? That's the same as when you right click on it. So if you don't want to right click, you can do it that way too. And this one has, let's see, revolve options, height. So we can, let's see, make this another massive object here like this. And there's just a ton of things you can do. Make it really tall. I mean, it's just, look, oh my gosh, it's insane. That's what I'm saying. This is crazy. Maybe not that tall, but let's say that tall. really crazy tall, you know? Massive world building. And then we'll just do some stairs, let's say. Bring in some stairs like that. Seems very small by comparison. And you could come in here and actually make sure these are all scaled to size. Now that one, did I create a static mesh on it? I don't think I did. So let's see. Swap to static mesh. So it's going to do that one. Turns that one into a static mesh. And then we'll just do these stairs real fast. It has some controls on here. I'm just showing you there's so many things that you could do on here. So there's one on here. Let's see. Oh, I guess we're up here on the top. So floating meat gets rid of the ones on the bottom here. Step height, you have step height you can control. Oh, here's the handle. So here we can drag it out like that. Here we can drag it up and create our own little stairway to heaven there. And that's that, let's say. And then I'll right click on it, and now we'll swap that to a static mesh. And they're all static meshes now. So what I have to do, what we'll do now is we're going to go back to the content level folder here real fast. And I'm just going to make a folder, and I'm going to call it My Meshes. Like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to this folder, this generated folder. Well, the easiest way to do it is actually if I go into the, click on this right here, and then I just click there and browse to the assets, it'll take me to that folder. And you'll see it's under Meshes Generated. I can select all of these and then drag up here to that folder. My Meshes right there, and then just drag them in there like that. Move here. So now if I go back to the content level here and I look in My Meshes, there are our 4 massive structures. Now all I have to do is I have to essentially break all references to Lyra, because it's going to cause errors when we go to migrate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up here to File, then I'm just going to create a new level, a basic level like that. I'm going to save. I'm actually saving the old one. So this one's still called Untitled. And then I can just drag these meshes into the scene like this. And now as meshes, they can all be replicated. So I've created this massive, I have these massive, 4 massive structures now. Speed up here, the world's too big. But look at this. I mean, these 4 massive, the stairs aren't so big, but these are pretty big, these things, right? So now what I can do is come back here to my content level folder, and I can save this current level as, let me save current level as, and I'll just call it my new map 1, and we'll just save it here, and it comes in there. Once this is created, this map, all I have to do is click on it and go Asset Actions, Migrate, OK, and then I can go into my Unreal Projects folder. Actually, I got to go into a different folder here and go to Unreal Projects, where I put that Unreal project at, the holding zone here, and click on the content folder and go select folder. And now they've all been transferred over. So that's how you can create these massive assets in Lyra and then transfer them over to any other project. So now if I go into that project, the holding zone, and I go into the new map, I have everything right in here. And then once they're in here, I'm free to do whatever I want with them. Then I can easily duplicate them and start creating all different kinds of stuff. It's really something else. If you're trying to figure out a way to create a massive world with massive objects, this is the way to do it. This really is the way to do it. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.